Hi, my name is Brian. Thank you for checking out the channel. This channel is about filmmaking, tutorials, just hybrid shooting all in general. The information that I learned, I share with you guys, and I hope I can learn the same thing from you. Today I'm going to be creating a series called, I think, Tip Tuesdays. So every Tuesday I plan on releasing a tip. May it be filmmaking related, if it's audio, if it's photography, just things in general that I've learned over the years or as I'm still learning that I'm just going to share with you guys. So that way everyone can have some sort of information, because I end up searching for the stuff on YouTube anyways. Why not have it all in one location? The tip for today is to create a contract. No matter if you're doing photography, doing something for anyone else, audio, you're doing filmmaking all in general, you need a contract. I stress this, I really stress this, you need a contract. There are many things that a contract will help clarify and ease everyone's mind when it comes to doing work for other people, especially when you're doing freelance stuff. You're working all by yourself in most cases. Like myself, I had to run into many different scenarios before I was able to realize that I need a contract. So I'm hoping I can express to you guys why you need a contract and maybe some things that you can go and add into your own contract or your thought process when you're creating your own. In the contract, state clearly what it is that you will be doing. So you're going to give the information clearly to the client, and the client, or if you're exchanging things, you want to make sure that is clear. This is within any contract that you're going to be setting up. You want to be able to make sure that it's clearly stated and explaining what it is, what the job is, and what, so that way you know when you have accomplished that goal, this is what you'll be receiving from it. If in this case, if it will be money, you say, hey, I'm gonna take headshots for you, for your business or for your portfolio. Once you complete that task, you expect and will be receiving money in return. You want to make everything as clear as possible. Having a contract will establish a written agreement. It's an understanding, so that way you don't have these ifs, ands, and buts. The thoughts that you'll be having if you didn't have the contract is, well, they said they're going to be paying me this much, but we also talked about something else. I hope they didn't forget that this is what they said. I've had many times that I've had a verbal agreement, either we're in person or we're on the phone. Most of the times it's usually over a phone conversation or something that's not written down, so that way you can't reference back to it. If it's not through the text message or something else, a lot of times, even through those situations, people like to go and say, hey, that's not what I meant. But in most cases, it's a verbal agreement. And in most cases, in all cases, in my perspective, I end up running into problems because they would say, hey, I will do this by this time, and this is when you get the money, or this is when such and such will happen. And when it comes down to it, like, all right, now let's go and do that, it's like, no, I didn't agree to that. That's not what I wanted. To avoid all those ifs, ands, and buts, to avoid all those unfortunate times that will be wasted, aggravation and problems, just put it in contract. Have it written, put it down, make sure everything is clearly stated, so that way you see it, you go and send it to the client, they can read it, and they sign it off and say, yep, I agree to that. If the client is able to go and read the contract, everything seems right and everything is good, then you know you're good to go. Just because a client does not sign your contract, do not be timid. Do not be timid. Don't think, oh, because I have the contract, this person's not going to sign with me. because the contract is too intimidating. I've had that thought. I'm telling you, I've had that thought so many times. But don't give up on yourself. You have to be very persistent. You have to be confident within yourself to know that it's not the fact that this client is afraid of the contract, why they're not willing to go and sign for me. It's the fact that they are not willing to actually sit down and understand this is a serious agreement. This is something that they actually want to get done. Because if it's a business that they're doing and they really want it to get done, they would be serious to sign the contract. The contract shows and means you mean business. That you guys are on the same page. You guys know this is the kind of stuff that they need to get done. For those people that don't want to sign a contract, unless the contract is completely like just bogus and something crazy, but that's what you got to negotiate with, find the middle ground. But for those that just upright just don't want to sign a contract because that'll be too much work, yeah, that's a client that you don't want to work with. Something that I've learned over time is there's moments when a client actually goes through the whole process, signs a contract, says they agree and everything, and they still fall through. In those situations, make sure that you have a non-refundable portion that goes to you for doing the pre-production. Pre-production is part of the whole process. All that time that goes into it is still your time being used. You have to prepare for the shoot if it's photography or if it's a video or anything. You have to prepare for all that stuff. You have to go and allocate the time out of your day to get all those things ready and settled. If you don't have that in there, I end up at the beginning not having it, a non-refundable portion in there to hold the date, a portion to do the pre-production, and people end up flaking on me. They end up dropping out, not being able to go and fulfill the purpose of it because things didn't work out. And they said, we'll reschedule, and we just never rescheduled. Have a portion that will not be refunded, so that way, once you set the date, you put that time away, say, I can't book anything else on that date. You have money up front saying, all right, the client is serious. This is the money they put down to hold the date, and let's start the pre-production to get ready for the next part of the contract or the process of whatever the job may be entailed. As time goes on, your contract is going to continuously evolve. You're going to continuously create and put more things into it. As you notice, oh, there's a gap in here. Oh, I experienced this and that during my process, and I want to go and add it. You're going to add more things and take more things out. You're going to try and make sure it gets to a point that you feel very comfortable with it. That way you realize, hey, all my clients keep asking me about this portion. Maybe I need to reword it so it can sound better. Maybe I should go and combine these two parts so it can not be so wordy, so everyone can understand it a lot better. Different things like that will continuously happen, and it will just make you better in the long run. As more things continue to happen, then you'll also adapt and make your contract, and just like in everything in life at this point, we'll get better. So I believe that is my time. That is my, hopefully it is a quick tips Tuesdays or Tuesday tips. One of those, I think it's one of that. So hopefully that gives you some information. I am not a professional. I don't know legal advice on how to do the contracts and everything like that. You can look up templates online like I did and just see what other people put in theirs. If you want some more information, leave it in the comment, ask a question. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to support the channel to know I can do more things like this. My name is Brian, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see y'all soon.